it's not new, but this is a striking example of what's been going on.
Yeah, it definitely is not new. I mean, the New York Post reported just a few months ago that they'd had dozens and dozens of arrests per day based on social media postings. Meanwhile, obviously, they have crime problems that are out of control in the UK. They've had massive scandals inside the UK government and covered up by the UK media, including that Rotherham grooming gang scandal, which actually spanned a number of cities in the UK. And currently, Yvette Cooper, as the Home Secretary over there, is talking about importing more refugees from the Middle East who are presumably not going to share sort of the UK's historic values. So this is what it looks like when a civilization decides to completely hollow itself out.
Keep in mind, this guy writes sitcoms.
Yes.
Right? And a member of parliament said Britain used to be known for its sense of humor. Now the police are arresting people for making jokes. This is a high-profile deal because people know about him. There are others who people have, they're just regular folks who are, riding the keyboard inside their office or their home.
This is right. And I think that the thing that it's important for Americans to know, there are really two things that are important. One is that speech restrictions in Europe do have an impact on American businesses. If you run a media business, for example, in the United States, and you're trying to distribute your material abroad, you have to abide by the law in those particular countries. So you do have to worry about distributing, for example, those tweets on Fox News in the UK. Could that create legal liability? These are actual issues that lawyers have to think about. And then the second big thing to remember here is that the First Amendment is the most robust and most well-defended amendment of the United States Constitution. If that were not the case, if the Supreme Court had a different orientation, you would be seeing hate speech exceptions to free speech written into the Constitution, and this sort of thing would be happening in states presumably like California and also in New York.
I think the other thing that's very disturbing about this is that this is a British guy who was in America, wrote the tweets while he was on American soil, but the armed guards in Heathrow, they must have tracked him and his flight so that they could be there and receive him at the airport and arrest him off the plane, send him to the hospital.
This is exactly right. So apparently he wrote in his Substack that when he got to the airport in the United States, there was some sort of snafu with the ticket. He realized later that that actually was the airline that was coordinating probably with British authorities to ensure that they had officers on the ground ready to take him away to jail for these bad tweets. I mean, it's insane.
Well, another story.